5 on Your Side at 10 starts now.
Reopening murder cases.
In some instances, there was additional evidence developed.
Tonight, the St. Louis Circuit Attorney's mission, renewing hopes of justice.
Cool and crisp. That's how your Thursday starts, and for some of us, a foggy start, where the fog could be thick and why it doesn't last long.
A prime opportunity and a new trick for thieves during Amazon Prime Days.
It's just ridiculous.
Tonight, protecting your packages from delivery drivers in disguise.
5 on Your Side starts now with breaking news.
It has been a violent night in North City and County. 6 people shot, 2 dead, including a teen, in 2 separate shootings. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Kelly Jackson.
And I'm Mike Bush. Right now, St. Louis police investigating a deadly shooting involving 5 people. 1 of them has died. This happened on Wells Avenue in the Hamilton Heights neighborhood as people gathered to remember another homicide victim. 5 on Your Side's Robert Townsend is live with new information from police he's learned just within the past hour. Robert.
Mike, just minutes ago, police left this scene. Let's get right to the video again in North St. Louis, and you can see it for yourself. Here's what I can tell you. Police tell us around 7 tonight, a huge crowd of people gathered here in the 5900 block of Wells Avenue in the Hamilton Heights neighborhood for a balloon release. That's just not far from Wellston neighborhood. This group was mourning the death of a recent homicide victim, as you mentioned, when lots of gunfire rang out. Again, police say 5 men were shot. 1 man died. Another one is in critical condition at this 10 o'clock hour. Police say 2 of the survivors were shot in their legs. Another man was shot in his hand. Right now, police are not telling us any more information about the recent homicide.
It's horrible that people had to be out here to begin with to mourn a victim of gun violence in our community. But for another instance of gun violence to erupt at a moment where you're mourning someone's life is not just horrible, but it's sickening.
Investigators said the 5 people who were shot range from 19 to their early 30s. Again, right now they're still looking for their shooters, and they're asking anyone with any information about this deadly situation to call Crime Stoppers. We'll stay on top of it. For now, though, we're live in North City. I'm Robert Townsend. 5 on Your Side.
And we're also following breaking news out of North County. A teenager is dead after a shooting. This happened on Hobkirk Drive off Lilac Avenue, not far from Riverview Gardens High School. St. Louis County Police say someone fired shots in the area and the teen was hit. He died at the scene. Police are still looking for the shooter. If you have any information, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers at 866-371-TIPS. You can remain anonymous.
And this violence comes after 2 shootings in downtown last night. Tonight, business owners want to see some change. At this time last night, we told you about a shooting near the convention center. A 14-year-old suspect and a victim were shot during an attempted robbery. A second suspect left the scene. Hours later, an argument led to gunfire near 14th and Washington Avenue. A man who was not part of the argument was shot while picking up food.
We get out of here a little early because the shift changes, the shift changes down here, man. We definitely need more patrolling and, less slap on the wrist. It's time to start standing up on it, man.
Police are still looking for suspects in both shootings.
A major development in the Middle East. President Trump announcing tonight that Israel and Hamas have reached an agreement on what he's calling the first phase of a peace plan. Hamas reportedly plans to release all 20 living hostages in the coming days. The president says the deal will pause the fighting, secure the release of hostages, as well as Palestinian prisoners held by Israel. In a statement, the president wrote, quote, "This means that all of the hostages will be released very soon, and Israel will withdraw their troops to an agreed-upon line as the first steps toward a strong, durable, and everlasting peace." Tonight, the Jewish Federation of St. Louis released a statement saying, quote, "We welcome news of the first phase of the deal between Israel and Hamas to return all of the remaining hostages home and end the war. As we await more details, our hope is that this moment brings forward a new era of healing, recovery, and rebuilding."
Now to the weather impact forecast. A fall chill tonight across St. Louis. Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell says if you didn't wake up to the 40s this morning, you probably will tomorrow.
That's right. Temperatures already down into the 40s in a couple of places tonight, and some of us aren't too far from it already, and we still have several more hours of darkness and those temperatures dropping off. There's a look out at Lambert. The sky is clear. Lambert tonight, seeing those temperatures drop through the 60s into the 50s. Chesterfield Valley, already 50 degrees, also 50 down in Salem, Missouri. Look at Mount Vernon, 48. There will be some of our outlying areas tonight in the low spots that get into that 38, 39 degree range. Most of us are going to be in the 40 to 45 degree range. There also will be some patchy fog, especially along the Missouri River. With these temperatures dropping back into the 40s, the Missouri River and Mississippi River water temperatures are in the lower 70s still. So you can expect to see some fog right along the riverbanks tomorrow morning, and then that will quickly lift. So it won't last very long. But the chill is definitely there tomorrow morning. You might need another layer heading out the door. In St. Louis tomorrow morning under that clear sky will start around 49. By 8 o'clock, we're back to 50. Then by lunchtime, we're closer to 68 or 69 degrees.
Tonight, a 13-year-old girl is seriously hurt after a crash involving a car and a Jefferson County Sheriff's Office armored SWAT vehicle. This crash happened around 6:30 tonight along Highway 67 near Farmington. The child had to be airlifted to the hospital. Her mother was also injured. The sheriff's office says the SWAT vehicle was transporting deputies back from a training exercise. None of them were hurt.
Tonight, a 73-year-old man is being treated for serious injuries after a hit-and-run crash at West County Mall. The suspect is in jail after a police pursuit nearly an hour away. DePere police say the man was hit just before 1 this afternoon in the parking lot of West County Center. The driver took off. He later fled police when his car was spotted on Interstate 44 in Franklin County. Officers deployed spike strips and entered the pursuit. The driver was taken into custody and is awaiting charges tonight.
Tonight, a warning from St. Louis police. Thieves, they're on the prowl for your packages armed with a new trick. In the most recent case, they posed as Amazon delivery drivers to gain access inside a condo building.
Brent Solomon joins us to explain cameras captured the suspected crooks in action.
They certainly did. Security crews believe this isn't the first time they've struck. They shared with me images of the bold bandits, cameras even capturing their getaway car. And since many of you may be taking advantage of the last day of Amazon Prime Days, we wanted you to be aware. Take a look as two women disguised as Amazon delivery workers show up to a Central West End condo on the 4100 block of Laclede Avenue at 5 Sunday morning. Arriving in a red car believed to be a Mazda 6, they proceed to the call box, trying numbers until someone grants them access in. Later, the duo leaves after getting away with the goods.
We were able to get a license plate number on the car, and we provided all that to police.
Jim White with the Neighborhood Security Initiative believes the same women struck several times since September using the same MO.
People's lives are complex enough, right? With, everything you have to deal with between job and economy and, just day to day. It's not needed.
Neighbors are alarmed and annoyed.
For something like medicine, it could be a big problem for people.
Since so many people have packages delivered, White is sharing advice.
Make sure you get the email notifications when your package is delivered. And then retrieve that package as soon as possible, especially if it's high value. If you can't get to the package, I have a neighbor who's retired. They'll come over and take the package and hold it for us. Some people actually send their delivery company detailed messages saying hide the package behind a piece of furniture on their front porch. Because, we walk the neighborhood, we see beautiful packages sitting up on the front porch. And if they were just out of sight a little bit, it would cut down on a lot of this. And then also services that Amazon offers, such as lockers. Like if you go to Whole Foods here at Euclid and West Pine and go into Whole Foods, you'll see Amazon lockers in there.
Good things to keep in mind here. St. Louis police say this is a problem all over our area. They say you may also consider telling the delivery company to hold your package until you're able to retrieve it. Police say if you're able, install a doorbell video camera, and that way thieves may just think twice.
Well, we are about 21 hours away from the face-off of the season at Enterprise Center. The Blues home opener is tomorrow night.
Yeah, they'll drop the puck against the Minnesota Wild at 7 p.m. The Blues held their last preseason practice today. Tomorrow will be Jim Montgomery's first season opener as head coach of the Blues. He righted the ship last season when he took over in November. He led the team back into the playoffs, but they were knocked out in the first round.
And you don't need a ticket to enjoy the fun on opening night. The Blues are hosting a free pre-game rally Thursday at Union Station. It runs from 3 until 5:30. Louis and other special guests will make an appearance.
And Blues fans in the Metro East have a new option to get to Enterprise Center. The Blue Note Express will be available for select home games. The Metro Transit bus will pick up on West A Street in Belleville between North Illinois and First Streets and drop off at the Civic Center Transit Center. That's across the street from Enterprise. A round-trip ticket is only $10, but you must pay through Square.
The St. Louis Circuit Attorney circling back, reviving murder cases dropped by his predecessor.
We will never forget the victims of violent crime.
The second look at the evidence, giving families a second chance at justice.
I wanted you to know that I'm not dying.
Dolly's declaration. Tonight, Dolly Parton puts the health rumors to rest, saying she wants to keep working 9 to 5.
A cool note to start Thursday morning, but it's quite pleasant for the Blue Note home opener at Enterprise. We're stretching this dry forecast right into next week.
Tonight, Circuit Attorney Gabe Gore and his administration taking another look at 24 cases.
Now, these cases once refused by the previous administration for a lack of evidence. Only on 5 on Your Side tonight, Justina Coronel shows us this is giving hope for families seeking justice.
Outside the Circuit Attorney's office is a quote, handpicked by Circuit Attorney Gabe Gore. "My purpose is to be, in my action, just and constitutional," a commitment he's made to the community.
So when I was appointed circuit attorney in May of 2023, one of the things we initially focused on was really rebuilding that relationship with St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department.
A way to rebuild is to revisit. This story focuses on 24 homicides. Former Circuit Attorney Kim Gardner's team looked at each killing and felt there wasn't enough evidence to move forward.
I, Gabriel Gore.
When Gardner resigned and Gabe Gore took over, the St. Louis Homicide Division presented 24 cases.
24 homicides that they felt that they perhaps had enough evidence to go forward on, that they had presented to the prior administration, and that they felt strongly enough about that they really wanted us to take a second look at those cases. So we agreed to take a look at them, and in some instances we agreed with them that there was enough evidence to go forward.
Out of the 24 cases, 12 were refused by Gore's office for several reasons, including a lack of evidence. 8 are still pending, and 4 have resulted in charges for cases that could have slipped through the cracks.
Justice is finally served for a 17-year-old cold case murder case.
One of the 4 cases involves 34-year-old Damon Taylor, a St. Louis Community College police officer. In 2008, Taylor was shot multiple times. Police say he was mistaken for a rival gang member. In August, Brandon Levy was charged with first-degree murder.
In some instances, there was additional evidence developed. On the Damon Taylor case, there was some additional statements obtained.
When his dad died, DeJuan Taylor was 6 years old.
I can just honestly say justice will eventually be served. People can only lay low for so long in their life. And a lot of times, God doesn't forget.
And in 2019, 7-year-old Xavier Usanga was playing with his siblings outside his home on North 14th Street when he was killed by a stray bullet.
In the Xavier Usanga case, for instance, I think it's just a matter of looking at the case and taking a different view.
Malik Ross was recently charged with his murder. He's already serving a federal sentence for embezzlement. In court, federal prosecutors accused Ross of shooting his gun 14 times when trying to shoot 2 other people. Little Xavier was caught in the crossfire. His mom, Dawn, always believed Malik Ross was the killer.
At least now he's being prosecuted for killing my son. I think it'll be closure to all the grief and everything that we've been through for the last 6 years.
Dawn's baby boy would soon be in high school. Now she pictures him in a better place.
He has a much better life with in God's hands at this point.
The chapter could have closed for those cases, yet the quote outside those doors stands as a firm reminder to keep fighting.
The second look cases that we've charged demonstrate that we will never forget the victims of violent crime.
Justina Cornell, 5 on your side.
8 cases are still pending to be reviewed. Gabe Gore said these 24 cases are the only ones they're looking at from the previous administration.
Tonight, country singing legend Dolly Parton is responding to reports about her health.
Well, today's October the 8th, and obviously I'm here. I know lately everybody thinks that I am sicker than I am. Do I look sick to you? I'm working hard here.
Dolly posted this video to Instagram today while shooting a commercial. It comes 24 hours after her sister raised concerns about the 79-year-old superstar's health, asking for prayers. Parton admitted she's battling some health issues that has caused her to cancel some engagements, but assures it's nothing major. She just needs to stay close to her doctors for now. Dolly says she appreciates everyone's prayers.
It is good to see her. All right, check this out, you guys. A sticky mess on Interstate 57 in Illinois. A semi carrying 46,000 pounds, yes, pounds of applesauce overturned Monday morning, spilling the puree all over the roadway. The northbound lanes north of Benton near Red Lake were closed for nearly 4 hours as crews cleaned up the mess. No injuries were reported.
Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell rejoins us now with the weather impact forecast. It's starting to feel a little bit more like fall, but we're going to feel again like summer this weekend, right?
Yeah, we have not been able to sustain any kind of cool outbreak around the St. Louis area, which, extends our growing season. It'd just be nice if we had a little water to go with that, but Mother Nature is not going to give us any rain either for the next several days. You're looking over in Edwardsville right now. Clear skies. The winds are fairly light across the area. Edwardsville's 56 degrees. Troy's already down to 53. Eureka's down to 50. O'Fallon, Missouri's down to 52. Some of our outlying areas already dropping back into the upper 40s right now. Lambert showing up at 62 this hour. There are some high clouds trying to stream in across west central Missouri. They are thinning as they move on to the east. And with a clear sky with fairly light winds overnight tonight, and even though the air is very dry, right up against the river valleys and in some of the low spots, we're going to see some fog form again tomorrow morning like we saw this morning. And, when you're driving along 70 or 64, coming in along 67, crossing from Alton into St. Louis County, you may encounter that fog right there at the river. And then it quickly dissipates, especially after we get past sunrise tomorrow. 74 for the high today. 49 was our low this morning. Should be in that same territory again tomorrow morning with the outlying areas just a little bit cooler. And again, our coolest spots in that 38, 39, 40 degree range. After any fog lifts tomorrow, and again, we don't expect it to be widespread. We expect those sunny skies to drive temperatures back into the lower 70s. Also, as you heard, the Blues get things going tomorrow. So if you're going to the pregame festivities over at Union Station, starting around 3 or so, you're in the low 70s. Pretty nice weather there. Be a good weekend to go do some pumpkin picking. We have plenty of sunshine this weekend, just a few clouds, no rain. Despite the cool morning on Friday, we get back to 75. We're back to 77 on Saturday, and Sunday, we're up to 82 degrees. Now, you look across the region, we do have some clouds on Saturday. These are mainly high clouds, so they're not going to produce any rain for us. Ohio State's up in Champaign, taking on Illinois, 65 degrees for an 11 o'clock kickoff there. At Mizzou, it's Alabama in town, 69 for the 11 o'clock kickoff there. On Sunday, it's a little bit warmer. Notice Tulsa's almost 90 degrees. That warmer air trying to nudge back in here, and it looks like that's where we're going to stay as we go into early next week, at or just above 80 degrees for the high, which will be close to 10 degrees above the average for this time of year. Eventually, towards next weekend and thereafter, it appears we may get into not only a bit of a cooler pattern, not cold, but cooler, but we also shift into one that may actually give us at least an opportunity for the chance of rain.
And we do need the rain.
We sure do.
Scott, thanks.
Sports is next.
It's a sportcast about greatness. Robert Thomas of the Blues, the quarterback Mizzou will see on Saturday, and a phenom high school football player from Northwest Cedar Hill.
And streaming right now on 5+, a special edition of And There You Have It. I sit down with John O'Leary, whose life inspired the new movie Soul on Fire, which opens in theaters nationwide on Friday. You can watch my interview for free on your Roku, Apple, Fire, Samsung, or LG TV.
We are less than 21 hours away from the season opening. So 8 years ago, I asked Blues president Doug Armstrong who was the one young player in the organization he would bet on. He didn't hesitate. He said Robert Thomas. He was just 18 years old. Thomas is 26 now, and he could end up a superstar. Do you know that he led the NHL in points after the Four Nations face-off? 40 points in 26 games. He finished with 81 points in 70 games for the season. So if he stays healthy this season, who knows? He may get to 100 points. The last Blues player to do that was Brendan Shanahan. So Coach Montgomery, give us a thought about his curiosity to be great.
Well, one, you can't do it if you don't have it. But you can improve upon it by watching, learning, a student of the game, and Robert Thomas is a student of the game. He has surprised me throughout the years. When I talk about a play I saw the last night, he goes, I know what you're talking about. So yeah, that's how you continually get better. You watch the other players in the league, you watch how other teams defend, so when he plays them, he's already ahead of the curve.
If you are an NFL scout, I would recommend showing up in Columbia, Missouri on Saturday morning. The talent will be flowing all over the field. If it's not Ahmad Hardy from Mizzou, then it could be Ryan Williams from Alabama. And the most talented could be Bama quarterback Ty Simpson. For 3 years, he sat and watched future NFL quarterbacks play ahead of him in Tuscaloosa. And now he's making up for lost time. Simpson has thrown 13 touchdown passes with just 1 interception. He completes 70% of his passes. And as we speak, Simpson has the second best odds to win the Heisman Trophy. Coach Drink is impressed.
You know, you kind of have to pick your poison. Like, if we play zone, he's going to pick us apart. If we blitz, he's going to stand in there and identify the one-on-one matchup and take it. So I think that's what they've been really good at.
This is one of the most dominant high school athletes in the state. Northwest Cedar Hill junior quarterback Cohen Stark has helped the Lions to a 5-1 record in one of the best starts in program history. He has scored 19 touchdowns already, run for over 1,000 yards, and is averaging almost 13 yards per attempt as a quarterback. He isn't scared of the contact and is one of the most well-rounded athletes you could find.
That's how I've always been. Especially up until my 8th grade year, I never tried making anyone miss. I was always stiff-arming someone or running them over, and it wasn't until my 8th grade year that I actually started trying to make people miss a little bit and limiting the contact, and I really had to do that this year.
Cohen's a competitor. He's a really good athlete. He's done. He's a 3-sport kid for us out here. He's been a 2-time qualifier in state wrestling. Was a all-state kid in track last year.
Brewers and Cubs Game 3, and Michael Busch doesn't just kill the Cardinals. This solo shot of the first tied the game at 1. And Pete Crow Armstrong had a big hit later in the first that played it 2. The Cubs hold on for a 4-3 win. Milwaukee leads the series 2-1. Blue Jays and Yankees. And look at this bit of magic from Cody Bellinger right there. Hazelwood West grad Devin Williams came on in the 7th. It didn't go well. Nathan Lucas with a base hit to score. Jays win 5-2. They move on to the league championship series. To Dodger Stadium, LA trying to close the series out. The former Cardinal Tommy Edman with a solo shot in the 3rd to give the Dodgers a 1-0 lead. Philly has Kyle Schwarber, and this home run is insane. 455 feet. He blasted 56 this year. Right now, Philadelphia leads it 3-1 in the 8th inning. And that will do it.
Talk a little bit about the Blues and what you expect from this team this year, because they open tomorrow, and we know they're young, but are they a playoff team?
Well, they're a playoff team. I just wish we could fast forward it like 1 year and expedite the learning curve. They are really good now, and for the next 2 or 3 years, they have a chance to be great.
All right, Frank, thanks.
A new trick to monitor your treats if you want to ghost Halloween trick-or-treaters.
Amtrak's Missouri River Runner is going to be running more next year. A third daily service will be added to accommodate an influx of St. Louis soccer fans headed to World Cup matches in Kansas City. That added service will run from April through June.
Trimby the Christmas tree looks a little trim this year. One of the nation's largest artificial tree importers is warning of limited inventory of trees and lights this year due to tariffs. Prices are also higher. Experts suggest buying your holiday decorations well before Black Friday.
And Ring is dressing up its cameras for Halloween. The home security company is selling Candy Cam bundles. The Outdoor Pro Cam comes with a ghost, a pumpkin, cat, bat, or spider case, plus a weighted base and candy bowl. Ring says it's the perfect way to make sure your candy bowl on your front porch stays full for trick or treating. And Scott has one final check of our cool weather in the morning.
Yeah, very chilly tomorrow morning. Some of the coolest spots down around 40 degrees in town, closer to 50. We'll warm back into the low 70s with lots of sunshine. Too early for the Halloween forecast, but it doesn't look brutally cold, that's for sure.
There you have it. 5 on your side at 10. We're always streaming on 5+.
Start your day with Today in St. Louis. Starts at 5 a.m. Have a great tomorrow.